people that we do. I hope none of you guys are judging my hair. It's a little out there today. Sorry. Deep breath. It's okay. So we all choose our partners. These are my notes. I was on a recent date. I dated this really cool guy the whole month of January. Was he perfect? No. Was I perfect? No. But he kind of asked me what my type was, and I didn't say it out loud, but my type was like, oh my God, like the last few guys I've been dating are assholes. And that says more about me than it does about them. So it made me think like, wow, I must kind of gravitate towards like douchebags and assholes. It must be subconscious, because if that's like the word that comes to my mind is my type is asshole, then I obviously have a subconscious problem. So then I was thinking like, well, if every guy I date is an asshole, like they've kind of started becoming less asshole, less asshole, less asshole. So maybe we could just level it down. Like maybe I can know that subconsciously I'm attracted to this type of man, but maybe I can start leveling it down. Like this guy was the worst. This guy was less worse. Like tiny little bit of issues every now and then. And so the same thing for guys who like crazy girls is like, can we level it down to where your last relationship was better than the last one, was better than the last one? So what type of perspective is that, and how can we make it work together? So before we continue, I want to share a little story. Happy 2026. My friend Mahea and I and all of our friends were at the beach this weekend, and it was on West Side in Hawaii, and the waves were really big, even though it was super close to the shore. And even though they were really big, I saw her just run in fearfully towards her partner. She just jumped into these big waves, and I was reading the ocean, and I knew, like, okay, we shouldn't go here, we should go here. Do I even want to get in? Do I even want to like possibly be in an uncomfortable situation or held under just swimming in the ocean 3 feet away from shore? But I saw her go in with all this joy and all this excitement. And to me, I thought like, this is how I want to live 2026. We're going into the year of the horse. We're getting out of like the shedding of the snake, which is releasing this toxic cycles, restarting, we're rebranding, we're doing different things. And the year of the horse, horses are very moody. Horses are very temperamental. I've worked with a few of them, and they require rules to work. They require a lot of trust. So I kind of just want to say like, it's 2026, let's just jump in. And if I say something in this podcast where you're like, oh, I have this problem, like let's jump in and let's work on that together. Like you, me, and whoever you're with, because this is the year that we take really big risks and we do really big things together. So we're gonna kind of talk about, women always say in heterosexual relationships, men won't connect and women want too much, and men are scared of commitment, and women are emotional and crazy and text and call a million times. So we're gonna kind of go into the 4 attachment styles. We'll talk about the beach again, but the first is secure. So secure is where, I don't know what happened with the lighting. Secure is where you have a healthy person and a healthy person. They have a great attachment. They grow together. You have anxious. That is someone, and my heart goes out to them, who is like someone who just loves easily. They put it all out there, but at the end of the day, they don't feel good enough. They are repeating the cycle of being left and being abandoned. It's very subconscious. And then because the cycle just keeps continuing and continuing, they continue to choose partners who leave, partners who are not there to stay. And then you have avoidance. Avoidants are just so scared. They're scared of love. They're scared of intimate relationships. Something happened in which love became a very scary thing. It could have been a life circumstance. It could have been a loss of a close relationship. It could have been someone dying in their life. It could be anything, but love has become this scary, unattainable concept. Then you have disorganized attachment, which is a mixture of anxious and avoidant. So basically, they have those same qualities. If someone is wanting to get to know them, they're scared of love, but then they're going to run towards love and they're going to be scared. So for my beach metaphor, I wanted to kind of talk about how secure attachment is running into the ocean, looking at the ocean, knowing its rules, knowing when to get in, when to get out, what to do when something is harmful, and what to do when something is playful and good. Anxious attachment is someone saying, I want to be in the ocean. I want that love. I want it so bad. I'm going to go for it at any cost. Even if it's dangerous, I'm going to keep going. Even if it's far away, I'm going to keep going. Even when there are no people swimming, I'm going to keep going. And it becomes very harmful because they just want that. They want love. They want it so bad, but it's always in like not great circumstances. 3, you have avoidance. Avoidance, it's kind of like when there's like a little child and they see the other kids playing in the ocean, but they know the ocean is dangerous. They're looking from afar, but they want that love. They want what everyone else has. And so they're looking and then they go into the ocean and they run out because something unexpected happens that they're not used to. Intimacy or sharing a secret, like something happens and then they just run out. They're looking from afar and they'll try to get in, but they'll run out. Disorganized attachment, the beach metaphor, is they're seeing the beach, they're seeing the love, and they're just literally running to the ocean, running out, running to the ocean, running out. It's just like back and forth and back and forth. They're going in at the wrong circumstances, then running right back when it's something real. So disorganized attachment is basically like one step in and one step out. Okay, so what I want to talk about, I have some facts pulled up on my phone. Let me find them really, really fast. The statistics are kind of crazy because we're going to talk about when you're attracting an asshole and when you're attracting someone crazy, you are most likely in, one of you is avoidant and one of you is anxious. So there's this push and there's this pull. So if you're an anxious person, you're right here. If you're avoidant, right here. Anxious person, seeking love, seeking love, seeking love, seeking love. Avoidant, withdrawing, withdrawing, withdrawing. Anxious person is triggering their, I'm not good enough. I need love. I need this person to feel full. The avoidant is feeling all this pressure, emotional intensity. There are conflicts that are happening. They feel like they're failing because they can't handle this emotional pressure. They feel shamed, which is a huge shutdown trigger. Next thing you know, the avoidant partner is dropped off the face of the earth and the anxious person is chasing, chasing, chasing. And it's this push and it's this pull. It's this push and pull, push and pull. A regular healthy relationship is you're working together and you're becoming one. Like, not in a codependent way, but you're working together and you're learning each other and you're making it work, and boom. So when you're choosing someone who is an asshole and we're choosing someone who is crazy, there is like a lot of pushing and pulling, and you're kind of wondering, like, I see this person, I like this person, can I make it work with this person? Most relationships are anxious avoidant. You're kind of like attracting each. Lots of websites will say, oh my God, if he's avoidant, like, get the fuck out. He's never going to give you anything. He's going to withdraw, blah, blah, blah. They're saying, oh my God, if they're anxious, they're insecure. Like, they're never going to feel good enough. They're going to suck everything out of you. Guess what? It doesn't matter if you are a secure attachment. It doesn't matter if you are an anxious attachment. It doesn't matter if you are an avoidant or a disorganized attachment. We are all human. We all have problems. Welcome to the world. Welcome to humanity. So can you work on a anxious avoidant relationship? Yes. Should you allow it to eat you up inside every single day? My avoidant partner just dropped off the face of the earth for 5 days. Should that mean you stop eating and suddenly you're like, I have no purpose in life, la, 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 la? No. We're going to talk about getting a grip. Especially as someone who I went from disorganized attachment, which is anxious, avoidant. I went from disorganized to more anxious to more secure. We're going to kind of talk about what level you are and how to grow and how to improve. If you are in an avoidant and anxious relationship, you want to know, can it work? Yes. How does it work? Are you both willing to grow? An anxious partner is always willing to grow. I will do whatever it takes to grow. I will do whatever it is, play whatever game. What about your avoidant? Is your avoidant willing to improve, or are they actually just okay, being scared of the ocean, being scared of love? You have to be able to talk to your partner and know if they are the type of person who is willing to improve and level up and level down with you. 2, if you are choosing to be in an anxious and an avoidant relationship, you need to know and learn each other. So, for example, an avoidant is a withdrawer. Anxious, you're a pursuer. So when your avoidant partner is withdrawing, most likely they feel scared. Most likely they feel like they're letting someone down. They feel like they're going to fail. They feel like they're not good enough. Even if they're very stoic, they still have the same levels of anxiety. That's what research says. So most of the time, avoidants were not able to rely on others for emotional support or reassurance. That's very lonely. At some point in their life, someone said, it's wrong, it's weak, you should toughen up. That's why, according to research, I think there is a case study, I'm going to attach everything below, but it said, basically, most men are avoidant. And I'll attach the research below. But it says most men are avoidant. And of course, because there's this machismo attitude that says you need to toughen up, you need to be a man. And that didn't really leave a lot of room to express or have big emotions. Women, we're more likely to seek support when we're having big emotions, when we're struggling. There's a little bit more compassion there. But for men, there's not a lot of outlets. How many, lots of men don't have friends, and it's really weird. So that's definitely a male problem, and we'll have to talk about that another day. But basically, know your partner, know when they're going to withdraw. And if you are working on leveling down the asshole and the crazy and the triggers and everything happening, you need to make a trust list. A trust list for an anxious partner is, I know you will text me back eventually. I know if you need space, you will at least say, I need space. This date, I will come see you. If you are, you need to figure out, for anxious partners, you need to figure out what are tangible things that will give you security when your partner is withdrawing. If your partner, cannot trust him, you don't know if he will ever text you back, that relationship is just short term and it's not really there, it may be time to let it go. You should never let someone eat you up alive, ever. If the avoidant person is not willing to grow and improve, then they need to get the fuck out. You need to get the fuck out. They have shown you who they are. Anxiety people, you need security. You need someone to feel whole, to feel desired. There is a lot of self-worth and self-confident issues. At some point in your childhood, you were abandoned. You were left behind. You were said you don't have any worth. And it's so sad. I feel for you. It's the, I'm not good enough. Everyone leaves. I love, and everyone just runs away. And that would be the toxic cycle of this push-pull, avoidant, anxious attachment that you have with your partner. So what your avoidant partner can do to make you feel better, they will never be able to make you feel secure. Your insecurity comes from you. Can they do things to trigger your insecurity? Yes. What are you going to do about that? You're going to have a conversation and say, this triggered my insecurity. Maybe you did not intend that. If it's not healthy for you and causing you to worsen, then it's time for you to walk away. But your security comes from you. Your wholeness comes from you. A lot of anxious attached people, they tend to think like, my whole life is this person. Once they meet it and they have this love that never seemed attainable, like it's given to them, they want it, they want to keep it, even when it's in the worst circumstances, even if your partner does not want to grow with you or learn you, you want to keep it, you want to hold on to it so bad because it's so precious. And that's okay, because that's just something you can grow for yourself. You can say, even though like this thing is so precious, I am more precious. Even though this guy is promising me love and then not texting me back, I can make a choice and stand up for myself and believe that something better is out there. You are going to be okay, my anxious lover people, and my avoidant people, you are also going to be okay, because at some point you were hurt and love was very scary. It says 70% of people stay in their anxious early childhood, avoidant early childhood, disorganized early childhood attachment style. 70% of people stay there. 30% change because of the environment that they are in, because of close relationships, because of community, because they are surrounded by people who are accepting, and it's something completely different from their childhood. So do know, some people will never change. You need to know, yeah, some people do not want to improve. They are okay being as avoidant as they are. They are okay being as anxious as they are. If you are willing to change and level up, you need to ask whoever you are with, are you willing to grow with me? Are you willing to see me be imperfect and stick around? And guess what? You guys could be doing this push-pull dynamic. You could be growing together, growing. Something could happen where one of you changes your mind. And guess what? That's okay. It is okay to change your mind. You do not have to make a lifelong commitment to someone. But because you chose to grow together, your attachment style will still improve, because you will know who you are. You will know what you're like when you are growing with someone. But it takes that conversation. Are you willing to level down the crazy? Are you willing to level down the asshole? Are you willing to understand my needs? And how can I meet your needs? Okay. There are some reasons you should not be in an extreme relationship. Number 1, if there is hitting or abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, manipulation. 2, if you feel like you cannot trust your partner, like on a foundational level, you should not be with someone that you cannot trust. Trust is essential. Character is essential. Consistency is essential. We're going to talk about the Gottman and Gottman's Institute. They are researchers who studied married couples over a span of decades. They saw what worked for couples, what did not work with couples. They did in-home studies, watching emotional bids, emotional repairs, and they also found this thing called the 4 horsemen. It's basically what will destroy intimacy, what will destroy trust, and what will destroy respect in a relationship. The first thing, this is when you might need to know, like, you're either fighting the wrong way with your partner, or if this is just there all the time, your partner's not willing to work on their communication skills, this will destroy your relationship eventually. Criticism. You suck. Like, you did that bad. Like, not as a joke, but like someone just criticizing you over and over and over and over. Criticizing each other, not good. 2, holding someone in contempt, not forgiving them. You did this. I'm not going to forget that. 3, defensiveness. What do you mean I have that problem? When did that happen to me? When did you see that happen? Not good. 4, stonewalling. When your partner is just silent. They won't respond. They won't do anything. They are just completely silent. They're completely stonewalled. Stonewalling is the last of the horsemen, and it is the most damaging because you cannot make emotional repairs. You cannot fix any conflicts. You cannot accept any emotional bids. Stonewalling is kind of like, this is the end. This is it, because they are no longer present. Think about this saying, you can be in a relationship or you can like passively be in a relationship and not be there. Like you can be present in a relationship or you cannot be present in a relationship. Not being present in a relationship is kind of like stonewalling. I think about like the families I saw growing up where you could just tell like the wife was gone. She was just checked out of the relationship, or the husband was gone. They're just checked out. They're still together, but one of them is gone, and that would be called stonewalling. So the 4 horsemen: criticizing your partner, contempt with your partner, defensiveness with your partner, and stonewalling. Those are the ways to destroy your relationship. If you have this push, pull, avoidant, anxious thing, and those things are happening, you should probably leave that relationship. Yeah, because those are the predictors of relationship failure. Okay, let's talk about what level do you want for your asshole or for your crazy. You need to figure out the toxic traits that you like in a partner. You need to decide, am I okay with my partner calling my mom, spamming my mom, saying what a horrible person I am? You need to figure out, am I okay being ignored for like 10 days at a time? Is that really what I want in my life? Do I really want to be crying and living for this high and living for this low and living for this high and living for this low? Or can we lower that down to like 2 days of space and then we see each other? How can you lower it down? How can you make it work? Do not date someone who is the exact same as your ex. Do not date someone who is worse than your ex. You need to move to secure. 30% of people can move from avoidant attachment, anxious attachment to secure, but it takes small increments of growth. And it really depends how comfortable you are being uncomfortable, being in the vulnerability. Okay. 2, we talked about this a bunch. Can your partner grow with you? That is so important. Did I choose someone who will say, I accept you on your bad days and your good days, and we will just grow through the conflicts? Short-term relationships end when conflict happens. That's because they're very like sexually based. It's because you don't know each other very well. Long-term relationships, happy ones, deal with the conflict in a healthy way. Does that mean people who are healthily dealing with conflict are perfect? No. It means they have learned their partner, they have understood their triggers, and they have found ways to work to it together. So if you are in like an anxious and avoidant attachment, you're going back and forth, push, pull, you both partners, if you want to make it work, need to figure out a way to make it merge and unify. Does that make sense? Okay, so I feel like we went over everything. There's some research that I wanted to read to you. It's off of my phone. All right. Women, most are anxious attached individuals. That's because of the emotional like spectrum that we have. We're more, what does it say? Anxiously attached people often have a negative view of themselves. They are generally more insecure, whether they are good. They would like to address this insecurity in psychotherapy. Men Avoidantly attached individuals generally perceive others as unavailable, unresponsive, or punitive, which is associated with more deactivating strategies. That means avoidant attached people will avoid emotional intimacy, deny the importance of emotional relationships. They are that person who is at the beach, staring at everyone else in the ocean, wishing they were there, going in and running out. Okay. You may choose someone who is triggering your deepest wounds. You could also choose someone who won't trigger you as badly. No textbook will tell you this. There is no such thing as good or bad attachment. We have the attachment styles that we do. 30% of people change, 70% of people do not. What percentage are you going to be? Friendships, romantic relationships can influence adult attachment the same way early child givers can. But persistent bullying, a cruel partner, a terrible breakup can cause a person with secure attachment to change because there is hurt. Hurt changes a lot of people. A study carried out by psychologist Joanne revealed that the likelihood that your attachment style will change depends on your susceptibility to change as a person. I love that. We all have it in ourselves to change, to grow, and to become better. Life circumstances affect relationship attachment too. Can you grow? Can your partner grow? Can you go from dating an asshole to dating someone who is less of an asshole? Can you go from dating someone who is crazy and liking all the crazy chemicals to dating someone who is more stable to have a longer, more meaningful relationship? Yeah, these are the questions. Like I said when I started the podcast, 2026 is the year of taking risks. It's the year to see how far can you go, how far can you grow as a person. Like, this is the horse, you know, we're running, we're galloping. And so I just want to encourage all my listeners, you don't have to stay single forever. Love is out there, even if you don't feel good enough. And even if you feel like love hurts, love is scary. And even if you are one of those individuals who I was like, love hurts, love is scary, I'm going in, I'm running out. But I need love, there's this hole. Growth can happen. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in you, because I think everyone is deserving of love, but you have to love yourself first. You have to know when to let go of a partner who is not good for you, and letting go is just so painful, but there's something so beautiful when you can sit in the vulnerability and heal and know there's a reason these things are not working out. There's a reason I'm attracting this type of person, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and I'm gonna fix it. And I really do believe that people have the power to change. It's just up to you. So I hope that this episode was helpful for you, and I will see you for the next one. Bye, guys.